Welcome to the IPC demo. In this video, we will walk through IPC, IPC portal and digital signature. This module developed by the Probuse. Now, what is the IPC? Basically, it's a payment certificate which is the formal document used in the construction and contracting project to certify work completed up to a specific date. They help manage and approve the periodic payments while accounting for the retention and advance recoveries. Retention and advance recovery also we are trying to cover in this module. Let's see how it works. We have already option available, IPC menu, separate under the project. Let's click over there. We will create the IPC for one of the projects. Let's create a new IPC. Now I have already customer work. This work I assign to some of the subcontractor. So once the subcontracting is done, they will submit the certificate which is recorded in the system. Let's see. Select the subcontractor. Here I will select the subcontractor, my project, job order, site engineer you can assign over here. Let's select the demo. Now here we have the IPC type. We can select here the IPC type. If you have the different IPC, you can add like construction. Now we have the approver. We can select the approver over here, like here. Mission admin. Tags we can add accordingly. We have already some option available. We can add here completed 50% work, or we can add here based on the work. Now here we have two options, retention product and advance recovery. For the retention, if you are managed, then you can use this retention product and percentage. If you are not using it, you can just keep it 0. Now we will add the retention 5% or 10% for each of the completion of the work, and this amount will be released after completion of the fully work submitted or full work done. Now here we have the advance recovery product. If we already pay some of the advance amount, that we can record over here. This advance recovery product we can select here. We have create vendor bill, create purchase order. If you want to create from IPC vendor bill, you can select the vendor bill option, and if you want to create first the purchase order, and from purchase order you want to book the vendor bill, you can select the purchase order in this case. Now first let's start with the vendor bill. We will add BOQ lines. Here we have already the sales order. We already assigned some of the work to subcontractor. Let's create BOQ line. Here we have flip over. This service we already assigned to the subcontractor. He completed his 50% work and submitted the IPC. Now here we will add the other, like flooring services. This flooring services also we assigned 10 hours and submitted the 5 hours. We can add here, and the amount for the subcontractor we receive the 300. Let's add other lines, painting services. So for the painting also we can add here. They are completed the 10 hours, and we can add the amount accordingly. Okay. So once all the details are entered, we can see here the option current IPC amount, it is there, cumulative certified amount, advance recovery. This amount, if we already paid the advance, we can minus here this advance amount. Now we have the retention amount and net payable amounts. Retention 10% we already added, which is reflected here. 297.50. Now once we entered all the details, BOQ lines item which is representing the work done. Enter the product, service details, quantity, unit price, and Odoo will automatically calculate the amount. After reviewing all these details, we can create the vendor bill. Before proceed to vendor bill, we have different options here. Once it is submitted, we can mark as submitted. Our consultant or third party consultant or subcontractor or engineer, they will be verified the work based on our workflow. We will create the vendor bill in the system. Let's create the vendor bill. Once vendor bill is created, we have here IPC reference which is added. IPC reference is available over here. All the details are there. You can see retention product amount is already deducted from the current vendor bill and net payable amount is available. We can confirm it and we can go ahead with the releasing of the payment. Once we book the payment in the system, we will pay to the subcontractor. So this process is done. Next time, whenever the other IPC for the remaining work is submitted, so in this case we can also make it here. We can go to the IPC Payment Certificate, and here we can create a new IPC. When we select here subcontractor project, tower project, we can select here. We can select the job order. Here we have already the job order subcontractor task. Select the approver. Mission admin, we can add it over here. Site engineer, we can add the join. Tags will be added. Remaining work is done. IPC type construction. Retention product. Advanced product. Now when I select here, it is already visible the cumulative certified amount. Previous IPC amount is there. Now when I add here other details, like here we have the flip over, we can add here flip over. We can add the other details which is done, like flooring work, 5 hours also done, so we can add here. We can add the amount over there. Painting services, we can add here the painting services. We can add all the subcontracting work which is finished. This is the 0.5. Remaining work is done. We will add the remaining work here. Other 10 hours is completed. We can add the 10 hours and then the unit price. You can see down, it is already visible current IPC amount, cumulative certified amount, previous certified amount, retention amount. I didn't enter here 10%. Once I entered, I can see here retention amount. Now if you have multiple services like plumbing services, painting, flooring, we can add all the services here. Like here I will add one more line for the plumbing services. 5 hours is done. Amount will be 16 and submitted. Current IPC amount, cumulative certified amount, previous certified amount, retention amount based on the current certified amount, and net payable amount 2650. So now we can see here net payable amount means what is the remaining amount. Let's create the purchase order. See, if I didn't select, both button is visible. We can select here now purchase order and create the purchase order. We will see how it will be reflected over there. Now here we have already same like the vendor bill. All the details are passed here. Retention amount linking to the purchase and accounting. We can create the purchase order. You can directly generate a purchase order from the IPC which pulls all the BOQ lines, retention and recovery lines into the order. Now you can go ahead with the confirm order. When you receive the vendor bill, you can book in the system, create a bill. So this can also possible. You can also manage the third party inventory as well as the internal inventory via the purchase order. You can enter the bill and you can go ahead with the releasing of the payment. So this one workflow works very well in the construction businesses. Now you can see we have the chatter down. This chatter we can use for the entering all the communication log and all the details. Now for the report of the IPC, we have already available here IPC report. You can print and use this IPC report for your further documentation. Let's go. We will see the IPC report. Okay. Here, this is very detailed one. All the BOQ lines are there. Current IPC amount is there. Cumulative certified amount is available. Net payable amount is there. Contractor signature, project manager signature, approver signature and site engineer signature. We will see how the signature will work. This is the draft because still it's not paid. That's the reason it is showing as a draft. Once we paid, we can mark it paid. Then it will be set as a paid. Now we will see the other details. From the portal access, how portal will work. Let's log in from the portal. Grant portal access for the subcontractor. Let's log in from the subcontractor portal. We have already here portal@gmail.com and subcontractor username and password. Once we log in, we can see here all the details are on the dashboard. IPC, your invoices, order and all. So here IPC is the Interim Payment Certificate. He can see in this section all the IPC issued from the subcontractor, and he can trace all the stages, net payable amount, date, all details are visible over here. Let's open one of the IPC which is submitted here. This is the details of the IPC which is submitted. He can trace the stages also. Go to the next, it is approved. Go to the next, it is draft. If he has any of the query for any of the IPC, he can directly message from here the chatter window. Require payment on time. Please send consultant or engineer to review the work. As well as he can also attach the different photos of the work done on the portal. This will be recorded on the backend side. Once he is okay with this IPC, he can also sign the IPC. So what we have already here, all the IPC details. It is giving the instant visibility of all the certificates assigned to the subcontractor, key information, certificate number, issue date, responsible, total amount, certified, retention amount if it is there, and then subcontractor can review this information at any time through the portal as all work will be tracked. He can also review the status of the work. So this portal interface is very clean, and non-technical person can also use this interface. Once he can see any of the description, he can also contact to the backend person who is working on this IPC or on this department. Now here we have the option signature. the extension of or enhancement of the standard IPC workflow by allowing contractor or subcontractor digitally, they can also sign the interim payment certificate directly from the portal, and they can authorize this IPC, submitted IPC, in the system. Once they authorize, then the internal user also authorize the IPC in the backend. Let's authorize here from the subcontractor portal, like here the full name, Mr. Sen. Here can be auto, draw, accept and sign. This signature will be saved under the backend system. We'll review backend system. Let's go to the another tab. Here we have already backend. Let's go to the IPC. Now we will see how the backend, the other internal user can verify and approve this IPC signature. Now the contractor signature is already available, so internal user, they can also like approve a signature. Site engineer, he has the access of the system from the backend. He can also approve and he can submit it, like here. Let's delete it, and then he can accept and sign. Same like this, manager can also approve. Then the approver signature also will be there. So approver signature, these all are the internal users who can approve and then accept. So this extension basically very useful when you want the digitally sign the interim payment certificate. Internal users will be authorized and giving the instant visibility to all the certified assigned user who is approved. So it will go to the further payment stage. Now here, once it is go to the manager will approve it, and then it will be done by the manager. Accept and sign. It will be reflected all the details on the IPC report. We can see here when we printed the IPC report, it will be reflected all the signatures of the approvers. So backend user can review and sign internally. They can print the PDF with the signature, include the perfect report format for the official record. Here it is there. Hope this video will be useful for you. If you have any query, you can contact us, Probuse. These modules are available on the Odoo apps to download, to purchase and to use in your current system. Thank you very much for your patience.